Yes, everyone! Champions of England, Premier League champions 2025. That, I don't know if anyone's watching that then. That was something special. The way they all lined up in front of the Kop end again, just like they did when they won the Champions League. Wow, what a moment. What a moment for Liverpool. What a moment for the club. And what a moment for us fans to witness that.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, I'm full of... I'm sweating. I'm fucking sweating, Kale. I'm sweating after watching that. I'm absolutely sweating. Welcome, everyone. Talking Reds, champions of England, Premier League champions. We said it was going to happen, and we deserve that, guys. We deserve that. Kale.
In slot we trust, man.
I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing.
Oh, slot. La 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 la. Oh, slot. La la la. Mate, we're champions of England. There's no excuses. No one can say anything. No one can take this away. We had it all.
That moment right there.
Oh, you lot won it in COVID, and there was no fans and all of that. Now look. What can they say to us? Nothing. We're the biggest club in England.
That moment right there, mate, was absolutely special. I don't know if anyone's watching Sky. I presume everyone's watching Sky Sports if you're watching from England. That right there, that moment where they're sending you never walk alone in front of the Kop end, the lineup, it's just absolutely special. Absolutely special. That's what this team's all about. That's what this club is all about. The best team in the country, and we did it in style. We did it in fucking style and all. In style. 1-0 down, Kale. 1-0 down, right? 1-0 down, and you're thinking, why? Why? Why are you going 1-0 down?
Yeah.
Why do you have to do it to us? Why do you have to do it the hard way? And then from then on, they didn't know. No,
not at all.
There's no reason to.
Too good. We're actually too good. Like, honestly, we had too much for Tottenham. Man.
I mean, Tottenham as well. I think they're shit. I'm so glad it was Tottenham today that we got going 1-0 down against most teams is hard, but Tottenham, it just seemed like we didn't even come out of a canter.
Yeah, we didn't break a
first gear.
We didn't get out of second gear. Honestly, it was ridiculous.
Brilliant.
We're top of the We've won the Premier League. No one can ever take this away from us now.
20 titles, 20 league titles. Joining Manchester United on 20. We are the best club and the biggest club in England officially now. Taking that back on our perch.
I can't believe. Like, I'm actually even a bit emotional. This is amazing. Man.
I am just watching that. You live walk alone. Then it really does. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Everyone watching at home, make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. See how many likes we can get in this stream for being champions of England. Get your comments in. I'm overwhelmed, mate. I'm actually overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by it all. I think it was just an absolute sensational game. Yes, we went 1-0 down, but after that, it was cruise control. 1-1 before that, and then it just seemed like when it went to 5-1, it just seemed like we're going to score more. Nunez, I don't know what the fuck Nunez was doing at the end. Why he passed it and why he didn't pass it properly to make it 6 is beyond me. But how happy are that Salah got that moment?
Salah got his 2 goals. Do you know what I mean? So, Salah was good. Salah was really good. I'm watching with a Tottenham fan, and he even said Salah was good. He's always good. And he's a biased Tottenham fan. I'll give him that. Biased Tottenham fan, and he said Salah was good. Like we're just top. Like we defend well. Our midfield is quality, and then our front three, especially with Salah, they're just gonna put you to bed. It's just a case of when. It's not even like if it's gonna happen. It's just when. That's why we're top. We've got the best keeper in the world, the best centre half in the world, arguably the best right back in the world. So yeah.
How about this? How about this for big of a congratulations, Nemanja Vidic himself. Can I ask you a question, Nemanja? Virgil van Dijk, the best centre back in Premier League history, innit? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Virgil van Dijk, the first Dutch player to lift the Premier League title as captain as well. Let me remind you of that.
I
Right,
think
let's get into the game then. Let's get into the game, Kel. Let's get into the game. 1-0 down, and you're thinking, "Fuck, come on!" We did I think we're going to win the title, regardless of whatever happened today. We're going to win the title anyway. But we wanted to do it today. It's the occasion. It's the right time to do it in front of the fans. And you're thinking 1-0 down. Don't take this away from the fans. And then from then on, really, Tottenham didn't even touch us. Luis Diaz, a good goal. Brilliant player across the box from the Szoboszlai. Diaz taps it in. And then Alexis McAllister. This fucking player, man. Alexis McAllister, the best midfielder we have right now in terms of form, the best midfielder in the league. No one touches this guy.
Yeah, I agree. Top player. Does what needs to be done, man. Just dictates the game. He makes everyone around him look better as well. He really does. He's unbelievable. And he's a serial winner as well. That's what we need to remember as well. He's a serial winner. He's won the World Cup, won the Premier League now. Yeah.
And he can win more with us. He can win more. But that goal, though, left foot. And Trent scored his first left foot goal last week. Alexis McAllister scored his first left goal today. And what a fucking banger it was. He absolutely laced it through.
What a player.
And after not just that goal itself, McAllister, right? He was just brilliant all over the pitch. He was everywhere. He was putting tackles in. He was working his ass off. He was controlling the game, like you said. The goal on top of it as well. Clear man of match for me, Alexis McAllister, throughout the whole game. Gakpo got his goal as well. I thought Gakpo would score today. And then took his shirt off. He's like, give me the booking. He don't give a shit. Take the shirt off. 3-1 up. And it's pretty much done at half time. They
were sort of trying to do damage control, but we was just in full fluid like football. We're just playing good football, and that's what's been the difference with us this year. Is I think under Klopp we sort of just had the gun ho sort of football, counter attacking, fast paced, all energy. Whereas this year maybe it's not been as exciting at times, but we've been getting the results, and that's what I prefer. Because lo and behold, look, it's the results that win leagues. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, top. And he hasn't even signed anyone yet, really.
I know. He's not in his team yet.
His team yet. It's mental. And pretty much the team sort of picks itself, other than the left wing and the striker roles. The team actually picks itself this season. And we've had that stability with the team. We haven't had too many injuries, etc.
Yeah. We've been very good. We've been very, I won't say fortunate. I just think we've worked on the injuries a lot this season. We've been very fortunate at keeping certain players fit, certainly.
But I feel like with Klopp's style, how we played, that's why we got injuries. We were defending on our halfway line, running back at full speed. We're going to pick up injuries because it was too intense and too fast paced. Whereas Slot's made minor little changes, and lo and behold, you know, like I said, we can go toe to toe with anyone. Like, if it's a physical game, we can be physical. If it's a sort of passing game where we need to open teams up, as you could see today, we opened up Tottenham like nothing. Even the first goal. The first goal is a beautiful goal. So it's been exciting this season, and I hear a lot of talk about how people are saying, Liverpool didn't have anyone really pressuring them in this league, and that's not our fault. That's not our fault. You guys can't get your act together. We're organised. We're doing what I'm doing. We could make all the excuses in the world and say we've just had a new manager. He hasn't made any signings, etc. But we're still going on. We're still doing what we need to do. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm just buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, man.
We set the standard in this league. Just teams couldn't keep up with our standard. That was what it is.
Literally.
That's exactly what it was.
Literally.
Arsenal, a different season. We might have had more pressure. Arsenal and City might have been different, but it is what it is. There's nothing to do with us. We did our jobs. No one else did their jobs, and we got the job done. We're the most consistent team in the Premier League. Pep Guardiola said it himself. We deserve the Premier League. It's a strong Premier League. They've got some brilliant teams. The mid-table teams have got better. Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final. You see in the Europa League now with Tottenham and Man United in semi-finals. Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final. This isn't an easy prep. This isn't an easy prep.
No, it's not an easy prep.
It's an easy prep. But why should we have a Tottenham fan? Why should I with a Tottenham fan? I'm going to talk about Tottenham just a little bit on Tottenham before we talk
might
about
jump
Liverpool a bit
in.
more. He can jump in. He can jump in because Tottenham, and I said it last night, I thought Tottenham was a perfect team for Liverpool to play today. And what I meant by that is they've got Europa League on Thursday, and the fact that they play into that. We all needed a point, but it doesn't matter. Against Tottenham, it's like a guaranteed win with the way they're playing at the moment. And the way they bring the ball out the back, they shot themselves in the foot several times today. A lot of our goals, a lot of our attacks came off
The
them.
McAllister goal literally is a Tottenham mistake.
Yeah.
They tried to overplay. They haven't got the players to overplay. They haven't got the players to play like that, anyways. And then obviously we've picked up on the loose ball and we've scored. So
Yeah.
But yeah, Tottenham fan said he doesn't mind the discussion, but he just doesn't want to be in the camera.
All good. As long as it, as long as I just want your thoughts or his thoughts on Tottenham at the moment. Like Ange, I don't know. That Europa League must be just hanging Ange onto that job because there's no way you could play that football. You've got to change your tactics as a manager. You've got to learn off games. Yes, you've got a style of play, but fuck me, you can't play that against Liverpool. You can't play like that against Liverpool.
Yeah,
you just can't.
Ange, if I can jump in, Ange is a sitting duck. He will go. He will go. His tactics, he's just inept. And I like Ange, but he's just inept. I could see after we scored the first goal and you lot started really dominating after that, you could see things need to change. We just didn't have enough power in the midfield. They're playing in midfield. We're constantly getting pressed. They're still playing. It just doesn't change it, man. That can work maybe in smaller leagues like in Scotland, but in the Prem, it just doesn't work. And if you look at the first 2 goals that you lot scored, we could have cleared the ball. We should have cleared the ball. We just let guys run past us. It was borderline embarrassing, man. So Ange is literally hanging on to the Europa League. I actually think that we probably could win the Europa League, but I still think he has to go, even if we win. That's my opinion. I still think he has to go because he just doesn't know how to adapt.
I get that, though. I feel that. Yeah. There's going to be no improvements for next season playing that football. Not until he stops being stubborn.
Yeah,
he needs to stop being stubborn.
He just is, and I just can't see him changing. He just doesn't seem that he wants to change. So yeah, but in terms of you guys, you guys have been the most consistent team. I don't really agree with you. I don't think the Premier has been that great. I think the reason why the sort of mid-table teams have been better, I think, is because the top teams haven't been as good. I think that's reflected in the number of points that everyone has got. I think Man City have been relatively poor compared to how they usually are for the last 5-6 seasons. Arsenal, even though they're going to finish second, I think they've regressed. Obviously, Tottenham being absolutely useless. Man United have been useless. Villa, they've been in Champions League, so they're not quite as good, especially after Europe. I just think, and sort of the medium teams, sort of the Brightons and Palace and teams like that, they've come up because the big teams just haven't been as good. So you lot definitely deserve it, but I don't think you lot have been special or exceptional. I think when you got, was it 97 points, you didn't win the league. You lot was unbelievable that season, but just Man City were just on a different level. Do you understand what I mean?
I get what you're trying to say, but I feel like, you see, when, like I always say this, when Leicester won the league, no one spoke about Leicester had it easy and the Prem weren't that good. Everyone was just like, Leicester won the Premier League. But when it's us, it's a case of, they won it because it's easy, like blah blah blah. They won, like, I don't get it.
No, but I mean Arsenal, yes, they will finish second, but they haven't been as good as they have been the previous 2 seasons. That's literally reflected in the points that they have. They haven't moved forward. Man City have regressed. That's what I'm saying. Just the big teams, they've just regressed. So you lot have like kind of stayed level, done well with Slot. He's come in and done amazing. But I don't think the competitive nature of the big teams hasn't been. I just don't think it's been there. So you lot have just been the most consistent team, and that's why you've won it.
So would you say we've done well?
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, you've won the league with what? Is there 4 games left? I mean,
Liverpool.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are 100%. They're the best team, but I do think the Prem hasn't been great in terms of the big teams.
Do you know, you make a good point though? I do think you make a good point where you're saying the big teams haven't been that good, so sort of mid-table, the mid teams haven't, like, they've sort of looked better. I do agree with that, actually, because it's like there's games where that's going on where any sort of team, if they beat Arsenal, you're not really that surprised. or if a team beat like City, you're not that surprised. But that's not because them teams have been exceptional. It's just because they're struggling and the mid-table teams look like they could beat anyone, sort of thing.
The levels they've closed.
I kind of get. I get what
the
I
levels
actually
have
get.
closed up a bit.
I get what you're saying with that.
How do you think Liverpool will do for next season, assuming that the top teams will improve?
Come back. I think it all depends a lot on transfers. If I'm honest, I don't think we can go into next season with the same team. I think someone asked that actually on Sky Sports. I don't know if it was Tyler, not Tyler. It's not Tyler anymore. Who is it now? It's someone asked Gary Neville. Someone asked Carragher. Do you think next season they can go in again? I don't think they can. That midfield was run into the ground. I think what we've been poor for the last 2-3 months. This is our best game in 2 months today.
Yeah.
Easily. We've been poor for at least 2-3 months. And we've just been grinding out results. But you can see the pressure was off a little bit today. I think it helps massively at Arsenal. You can't deny that. Arsenal and City drop off. It helps us massively. Then there's been really no pressure on us. Would we have won the penalty title with a bit of pressure on us? We might have still done. No one really knows. It's a question that's never going to be answered. But that again, it's not our fault for doing that. We were the most consistent team this season. But again, yeah, I think Man City and Arsenal will come back next season. I think it's a bit better than Chelsea. I think Newcastle will improve again. Tottenham and United, they've got a relegation battle on again. If it's up to them with that one. But they might just about some. I think we've been lucky with the drop off. We've been slightly lucky with the drop off of them, but it's the same with Tottenham and Man United being lucky that the relegation teams are that shit this season.
Facts.
I agree. Like you not played really well today, but let's be real. You're playing against a team just above the relegation zone. We have been terrible this season.
European semi-finalists, aren't they?
Yeah, but
in the European non-league cup,
in the league, which is your bread and butter, we've been absolutely terrible this season. It's been horrendous. We are literally just better than the relegation teams. That we're that bad. In terms of, you said that you need to rebuild into next season. Where do you think you need to rebuild? Where do you think you need to improve? Because I do believe that you guys have probably the best squad in the Prem.
we need a left back, 100%, and we need a striker.
Go say, Kel, where do you think left back and strikers? Certainly, I think they're the most
Left back striker.
one.
And you said you think DM, you think holding mid.
I think DM.
I don't necessarily think DM, but I think left back 1000%. We haven't got a good one. In between Simicast and Robertson, I think they're too much of liabilities. Both of them.
I think Robertson is kind of run his course.
I think what's that saying that Gary Neville says? Leave football before it leaves you.
Oh, Carragher said it. Yeah, football left him.
Carragher said it. Yeah, leave football before it leaves you. And
we
say that about Casemiro, isn't it?
Yeah, Casemiro.
Yeah. Robertson needs to do that.
So left back,
and then I think
DM.
I think that Bournemouth one. You know the Bournemouth left back, Kirkers.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with him.
Okay.
And then striker, obviously, I think we should get Isak. I think we should go and spend the money for Isak because I think that's a top striker.
100%. If you get Isak for next season,
then we're title contenders again. Then I think we're challenging for everything. But I do think we need to offload Nunez and Simicast or Robertson, one of them, that sort of players.
I think it's sounding like Isak. I think that pretty much gives us championship again.
Yeah.
That's how big of a signing it is.
Yeah.
That is a big statement.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
You go and sign, we'll have to break the bank for it as well, but you literally are getting a proven Premier League goal scorer.
Yep.
He's top. I'm sorry, he's top.
And I can see him fitting in with your style
perfectly.
Play.
Yeah, perfectly.
It's just where we will pay the money. I don't think we do. Newcastle probably going to get Champions League football. You know what? I see Isak staying another year at least. I think I want to see what Newcastle like in Champions League with him being there. There's no reason for him to leave just yet, unless Liverpool or Arsenal are willing to pay the money. I don't think they're going to pay the money.
Arsenal will try to find it though. I think if Arsenal get a sniff that Liverpool are like pulling out for money, they will 100% try and do it.
Why would Liverpool not pay the money?
Because we don't pay money. We don't really pay money.
We spent a lot of money.
We don't have anyone to sell.
Spent a lot of money on Van Dijk.
Yeah, but that's
that's Coutinho money. We don't have another Coutinho that we're selling. We're letting Trent go for free here.
Yeah.
If we had another Coutinho to sell, then we'll get him.
Yeah,
but we don't. We don't. So
exactly.
What would he be? What 100, 120, something like that? Mil?
Yeah,
I think they were asking for 130. I think.
But I do believe that if you get him,
it's a wrap.
I think that's next season for you as well. And And remember, you dropped out of Champions League, which is something that I thought you had a good chance of winning. Maybe with someone like him, it could have been a different story.
Oh yeah, in games like that, yeah, definitely. There's knockout games where you got someone just to win the game by themselves. Sometimes you need in those Champions League games, and Isak's certainly one of them.
Mo,
I think
Isak, Mane used to be one of them. That them sort of caliber of players, yeah.
we don't really have that bar more really up front. Gakpo's all right, but he's not that elite.
Not yet, anyways.
No. So yeah,
I like Gakpo. I think he's improved immensely from when he first came.
Since Slot's coming, though, I think it's been since Slot's coming.
Yeah.
He always showed like little flashes that he could do bits, but now he's actually in full fruition. That he's doing really well.
What about Salah for next season? How do you think he's going to be next season? He's going to be what, 33?
Yeah.
Obviously, he just signed a new contract, just won the league. Is he going to have? Kel and I was just talking about it. Like Son, literally, like click of a finger, he's
upper
dropped
close.
his levels. Could that potentially happen with Salah, or do you think he will have another outstanding season next season? What do you reckon?
It doesn't look like he's stopping, does it?
No,
I mean, he looks amazing. Even the way he took the first goal, he's amazing. But you know how it is. When you're in your 30s, we're all. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 40, so I know how it is. When you reach certain ages, it just like a switch. You can just lose that yard of pace. But I don't know. I see him being amazing. But what do you, a Liverpool guy? What do you think?
Kel, what do you think? What do you think? 'Cause I actually think I can't see him stopping. I can't see him. He might slow down, but even a slowed down version of Salah is enough.
let's
I
be
think a
honest
slowed
now.
down version of Salah is still the best forward we've got at the club.
Let's be honest. Since he's come to how he is now, he has slowed down. In terms of speed, in terms of things like that, he has slowed down from when he first came. But he's become way more effective. Like, don't get me wrong, the first season, outstanding. Since that first season, this is the best season I think he's had.
In terms of numbers, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of numbers. And he's just, every game, it's like he just gets better.
There was a time, just to throw something in here, I think the end of last season, he wasn't having, let's say, the best time, maybe the last, I don't know, 10 or 15 games, I can't remember. And there was quite, well, at least on TalkSport anyway, there was quite a lot of Liverpool fans saying maybe it's his time to go. Maybe he needs to go to Saudi. His head's been turned, so on and so forth. Could that be a factor in how he may be for next season?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Do you know why I say that? Is because he could have done it this year.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't agree with it. I thought I think Salah's possibly one of the best players to grace the Premier League.
Yeah.
I
did. I'm not gonna lie. I did think he dropped off. I did think it could be. I was one of them Liverpool fans saying
no, but there was some saying like maybe it's his time to go. Because remember, there's a talk with the
Saudi. No, I was saying that. I won't lie. I was one of them that was thinking that maybe it is Saudi for him, and I kind of sympathise with him because I said, do you know what? If he's gonna go anywhere, it's best for him to go Saudi, sort of thing. For him as a person, his head would be turned to go Saudi. So I felt maybe he would go there. But he's come out and proven wrong. Like, I've got it wrong a few times. I can't lie. This season, I've got it wrong with Gravenberch. I thought Gravenberch was shocking when he first came in. He's been top this year. I think Gakpo has been amazing. So Szoboszlai has been really, really good. The only one that sort of two players that I thought really, really struggled this year was Robertson and Nunez. And even Nunez had his moments.
I think McAllister's been amazing.
McAllister's been top. Gravenberch, McAllister, they've been top. Even Curtis Jones has been top. Harvey Elliott, when he comes in, has been top. Like, we literally have like such a good squad.
I think your squad, as I said, I think your squad is the best squad in the Prem.
Bar City, I think.
No. I think you have the best squad in the Prem. I mean, who's the weakest player in your what? Maybe Endo? Is it Endo or Enzo?
Yeah, Endo.
Probably the weakest player, and maybe
Nunez. Endo's better than Nunez.
He hates Nunez. He hates Nunez.
Well, you got no love for him,
Endo's better than Nunez. Endo's better. In fact, Endo's probably better striker than Nunez.
Do you know what it is? I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's just low on confidence.
No, but he's a bad player.
He's got no football IQ.
If you heard someone scored a goal and they were offside, you would bet your dollar like that it was Nunez. If you heard that Liverpool missed a 1-on-1 chance with the goalkeeper and they went round the goalkeeper and missed,
you'd say it was Nunez. Without even knowing who it was, you'd be like, yeah, Nunez done that.
But that's because the rest of your players are so good.
But
If he
he's
was
so bad.
playing, I don't know, for Palace or
No,
a
no,
mid-table
no.
team,
He's a bad footballer.
I think his confidence could build up a bit.
His IQ is so low.
Yeah.
Like, his IQ is so low, football IQ.
Well, I know his days are numbered at Liverpool, like 100%.
No, he's gone. I think he's gone.
Yeah, gone.
He's gone. And I'll drive him to the airport myself. Honestly, I can't stand him.
Did you see the chance he had at the end? Though I think that sums up Nunez.
We actually didn't see it.
situation.
We actually didn't see the last chance, but we'll check
Did you
that
not
out.
see it?
What happened?
Go watch it. It was clean through, like 2-on-1 sort of thing. He had the pass across to Salah. He could have shot himself. He had a clear shot himself to score, but then he decided to pass the easy pass to Salah, like a sweaty goal you do on FIFA.
Yeah.
And even he got that wrong. He even got the simple pass across the goal. He hit it too hard.
Why am I not surprised?
So not only did he have a chance to score himself, he messed up the most simple pass. Honestly, it was literally a sweaty goal pass, and he overhit it.
Back to what Justin just said. What do you think Salah's going to be like next season? What do you think?
But I'm going to go back to what you said about the Saudi thing as well. I think regarding why I didn't want Salah to go. I wanted him to stay because I thought he might come back. He did drop off a little bit towards the end of last season, but the whole team did. However, I think what Liverpool fans feel like is because we are a sell-to-buy club, our transfer budget comes from sales. Then a lot of people were open for Salah to go because of the money that he brings in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we have to rely our purchase on sales. I think this is why I don't expect a big summer as being reported. This big summer, because we're not going to sell much. We'll probably sell Nunez for a good amount, but that's about it. And we rely a lot on our sales to get our budgets. So I think that's why people were slightly hoping Salah going. I think that's the only reason, mainly. But yeah, next season I do expect Salah to continue. It doesn't look like he's going to drop off, but like I said, if it does drop off even a smidge, I think he's still the best forward we've got.
Yeah, you take that.
And even the pace that it took off a little bit, it seemed to have improved his whole game by having that less pace anyway.
Yeah,
because
I agree with that.
He's now looking up. He's now looking up a little bit more. He's the player that Mane would have loved to have played alongside.
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Remember, Mane hated
You know what I'm saying?
selfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine Mane in this team now, where Salah was actually passing the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, it's mental. It's actually mental. I feel like
I do expect him to continue the way going forward. Regarding the DM, though, I know you don't want a DM. Well, I don't know if you don't want a DM, but you say it's not a priority. But for me, I just think we've seen in the last 2 months, especially, Gravenberch. I still want to see Gravenberch as an 8. I think Gravenberch is an 8. I want McAllister in that 10 position, personally. We talked earlier. In fact, there was actually a perfect moment today in the game that we saw it. Gravenberch, and I think in the first half, towards the end of the first half, and he advances forward the ball. He went straight through the middle of 2 players, but then he lost it. And then all the Spurs players were there. Then they had a big chance of counter attacking. That's what he wants to do, and he can't do it as often with that because of the risk of him. No one's going to be there behind him.
Yeah, as a holding mid. I do feel like he's able to do them turns and stuff because he's the deeper one. Do you know what I mean? He's up against more sort of attacking. Yeah, so I feel like he is able to, but will he able to do that as an 8? I'm not entirely convinced. I do think as a holding mid, he's changed my opinion on him completely. And I do think McAllister is better alongside him. I feel like McAllister dictates games. I think in the 10, it's very difficult to dictate a game rather than because you've relied on others to get you the ball. If that makes sense, you rely on your other your other midfielders to help you get on the ball. Because they need to find you in sort of areas where you can dictate the game. But I feel like he, in the 8, dictates the game really, really well.
Yeah, I can't argue with McAllister anywhere on the pitch, to be honest. As long as McAllister's playing, I'm happy where he is on the pitch. He could be up front for me.
Mac 10 is top.
He's just unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. And today it was a proof of how good this guy is. He was all over the pitch, played everything through McAllister today. I'm trying to think if there's any bad performances today from Liverpool.
Nah.
I don't think there was a bad one, but in terms of not really impacting the game as much, I don't think Szoboszlai was particularly amazing.
He weren't amazing, but he still impacted the game because he got an assist.
Got the assist, yeah.
I just think he was overshadowed. I think a little bit by
Yeah,
Mac and Graham.
I do feel like Konate, as defensively, he done quite well, but even like little things he does decision making wise
Yeah,
is like he could have kicked out for a throw in and he kicked out for a corner. They score from the corner.
yeah.
So there's just that. But yeah, man, I'm not going to dwell on things. He's been exceptional this season. A lot of them have. I just think, like I said, Robertson's been way off it. Way off it.
I think we're going to miss Trent massively though.
Do
Trent
you know
is
what?
probably going. And
People
then today,
really,
he made some brilliant passes today.
Yeah, but people don't realize why Salah hadn't been playing well is because Trent's been injured. Because Trent actually plays the ball in behind for Salah to run onto. A lot of the time, it's feet, it's into feet for Salah, and then he's gonna have to try and beat the person. But when Trent sort of puts it in the area where he's running in behind in full flow, then he's got you in your own box running at you. It's a different to when he's got you running at the halfway line.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Like Trent is the missing key, and Trent's chances creation is unbelievable. There's games where I felt like we've definitely missed him because there's no one just able to create chances. Like teams park the bus and there's no space in front of us. Like Trent's the one that comes on more time and unlocks it, or like he's able to stretch teams. That's what I think. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of times did it today. You know, there's the ball down the wing, those byline balls to let Salah off in behind his man. We don't get them. We don't see them. Like I said, we don't see them at all.
Yeah, Bradley don't play balls like Bradley's not a risk taker. He don't take risks like that. Whereas Trent is like that's his game.
For me, Trent is the best passer of a football in the Premier League.
Yeah,
his vision,
it's not even an argument.
the weight of pass, the accuracy. For me, he's number one. I think him and De Bruyne were kind of level pegging, but De Bruyne has probably tailed off this season. Trent, he'll definitely be missed for his parting range.
Liverpool fans that say he's not, they're bitter. I'm telling you now.
No.
Because
it's crazy.
Because
he'll be missed. Don't get me wrong. I think what's his name, Bradley.
Yeah,
I think Bradley is a very good player, but there's certain things that Trent brings to the table that Bradley just can't.
Yeah,
that can't, especially offensively.
I agree. I actually agree. But if you
this is another reason why I want to bring in a DM as well.
Why?
We need a DM that can play balls.
Yeah,
we're gonna miss Trent's attributes of his passing. We need that replacing somewhere, and I think that's a DM.
I just don't know who's good enough to be brought in. I remember we wanted Zubimendi badly in the summer, and then we didn't get him, and we were just forced to play Gravenberch there, and he's been unreal. So who knows what can happen? Who knows? If football's just a funny game like that. But I do think Slott's already thinking about next season.
I just don't want to go into next season not getting a DM and it hitting us in the arse again, because it has done previously. I've said it many times before when we didn't get a DM when Fabinho left, and everyone was happy McAllister staying there, and it didn't work. Well, it worked for like a few games. McAllister was brilliant in some games, but then he was better going forward. And then
it was like the shackles
again that season.
The shackles were really on him then.
Yeah. I think he'll better going forward. I think Gravenberch is better going forward a little bit more. He's been brilliant as an 8. He's been brilliant as a 6. But in those games where you'd say like Newcastle game in the Carabao Cup final, he's outrun. He's not physical enough for that position. In the PSG game, he's outplayed.
Yeah,
I think his best position is an 8. But if he swaps with someone, if he can get someone a 6 in that he can rotate with and not get as knackered as he has done this season, then I'm happy with that. I just think we need more of a defensive-minded player there.
I don't know if you saw Rio Ferdinand. He does the podcast where he gets players in and they talk about. And I think he got Julian Lescott in, and I think they asked Julian Lescott, "Who's the best, in your opinion? Who's the best holding midfielder like England have?" And do you know what player he said? It's mental. I couldn't believe it. He said Curtis Jones.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, he said Curtis Jones. And part of me wants to see Curtis Jones in a holding position. I really do.
Did we play him in friendlies last year in all the positions? It was fucking shocking.
Yeah, but
He kept
Trent was
leaving the space.
shocking for England.
Yeah, he's never been a holding midfielder either. I don't know why people thought he was an holding midfielder. I was on still the right back train for a long, long time. In fact, I did a stream on it on LC Transfer Room. Right back or centre mid. I said he's a right back. I did a full stream on Trent being a right back for England and for Liverpool. And then when we saw it for England, everyone were like, "Oh, he can't play there." Well, you're not seeing how Trent plays. Trent plays with the pitch in front of him. He can't play DM.
Yeah.
He's never
He
been
can't
able to
play
play DM.
But also, my argument to that is as well is England don't have no runners. They weren't playing that. They had Foden
Yeah.
and Saka. Them not really running in behind like that.
They weren't running behind.
Yeah, they weren't running. So they're taking away his best part of his game. He's not an intricate passer and playing short passes and flicking around the corner and getting. He's not that sort of player. He's the sort of player he needs runners.
Yeah.
And that's why it's worked so well with Salah and Mane. Why it's worked Diaz, because he's got people that are willing to run in behind. So to get onto his passes, that's his issue.
I think this is why he will do really well. I know he hasn't signed as yet, but I think
At
if he does go to Madrid,
Madrid. Yeah, Madrid
you've
with
got
Vinicius and
runners.
Mbappe.
He will get loads of assists.
They will love him. They will love him. They'll be making runs, and they know that they'll be found by his accurate passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know a player I like, actually? Funnily enough, whilst Justin's there, Archie Gray.
Yeah.
I quite like Archie Gray.
He just finished battering him today.
Do you know what? Yeah, I do like him. I think he's a good young player, and he's someone that's come through. The problem is every time he plays, we lose. Now I don't know, I don't know whether that's just the manager and his tactics, but I feel like he's just not ready, and he's being forced to play, and he's not ready yet. Do you understand what I mean? And it doesn't help when you're in a struggling team trying to find your feet. Maybe if he was doing better, maybe the days of Poch, whatever, and he came in, he'd be I don't know, appreciated more. I think when you're a good young talent and you're coming to a struggling team, for me, I don't know, he's done well, but he hasn't helped Tottenham, if that makes sense.
Remember the last time you had a player that you kept losing games, and
it was Gareth Bale.
Yeah, it was Gareth Bale, and turned out to be one of your best players of all time.
Yeah. So I think he has got a promising future, but maybe just not under this coach. Not under this coach.
Hey, maybe he might have a buyout clause back to Leeds, because Leeds might finish above you next season.
Oh no,
it could be that bad. That reality is it could be that bad.
Do you know what it is? I know obviously this is a Liverpool podcast, but just on Tottenham, I don't think we've got a terrible squad. I just don't think we're getting the most out of it. I think we're so open. We're so easy to play against. So when I heard that we was the team that potentially could win the league, I was like, you're guaranteed to win the league. Like, guaranteed to win it. And every other Tottenham fan knew that as well. So, like, we're just so open. There's so much space all the time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I forgot his name now. Ange just doesn't know how to organize a team defensively, but we are just always open. I mean, you saw how you guys played. After maybe 10 or 15 minutes, it was a canter. It was so easy. There was space all the time. Even in the penalty box, when there was sort of 3-4 guys around you, there was still space. It doesn't even make sense. So yeah, Ange won't last. No matter what happens, he won't last.
With the thing with the fans as well, like
no. Trust me, a lot of fans want him gone.
No, but how's he got away with that with the fans? That incident that happened with the fans, and he's done his like ear to that. What was it again? Something happened.
It's Daniel Levy, isn't it? It's Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy begs questions that you don't even think about.
Like, Daniel Levy is just a businessman.
Yeah,
he's literally a successful businessman. He should not be anywhere near a football club. That's my opinion.
Just to bring it back to Liverpool. I did want to ask a question. I know you lot said that Isak would be a perfect fit for next season, but you said you probably can't afford or you won't spend the money. Why is that? You lot are in the Champions League every season. You're winning things, relatively regularly. Why would you not have the money to spend 100, 120 million, maybe 130 on someone that potentially could move you even more forward?
Because we don't have someone to sell for that money.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying, you generate revenue. You've made your stadium.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, this is what we ask every single season, mate. This is what we ask every single year. Why sometimes we can't spend a little bit more on a player like that, or it's FSG. FSG sanction the transfer budget. They have a sell to buy policy, and we stick by it. And most of our, even like Nunez, when we bought 85 million for Nunez or whatever it was, 67, most wasted money I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
That was paid through the sales that we made that season. We made like 70 million through sales.
Really?
So we all really bought. So it is generated a lot through sales, our transfers. And Arsenal's starting to go down that route now. Where they're relying on a little bit of sales. Other clubs are starting to. I think Man United are starting to do that now because they've got new owners in. They've seen it work with Liverpool. It does work to an extent with Liverpool. Look, we've got some brilliant scouts and some brilliant people in charge of the football. That's why we get good footballers when we do bring players in. Usually, are the best players to get. It's just the budget they're working with, and that's a big issue. And that's why in the summer, do I think FSG will do enough for Slot to go again? I don't think they will. Personally, we've seen in the past. Let me ask you a question, guys. Let me ask you both a question. If we didn't sell Coutinho, would we have bought Van Dijk and Alisson Becker?
No.
That's your answer. That is your problem.
I
look
don't
what
think
they've done to it.
But at that time, you wasn't. From what I remember, obviously you can correct me. You wasn't in Champions League every season. You wasn't winning. Well, you hadn't won the league for was it 15, 17 years, whatever it was. So you wasn't getting the prize money like you are now. You're in Champions League every season now for the last how many seasons?
No, we weren't in it. We weren't in it.
Do you get what I mean? So, and Champions League pays a lot of money. So you're from the outside looking in, you're getting the revenues in order to pay the big money.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm
when
saying.
We won
so
the
you
Champions
should
League,
be able to, force.
We should be able to. Yeah, we should be able to. We've got the money. It's just whatever is sanctioned by the owners. That's what it is. Back when we won the Champions League in 2019, we still have the same squad to win the league. But the summer that after the Champions League win, we bought Adrian, Elliott, and Van der Berg. That was our summer.
I remember that.
That's not ideal.
So it doesn't matter what prize money we win. If we don't sell sale, we won't pay the money for certain players. And this is why the Caicedo bid, it was a load of bullshit, an absolute bullshit. There's no way we'd have paid that. The only reason why we bid it is because we knew we was already done for Chelsea. We just wanted to look like we were backing Klopp. What a waste of time that was. Bellingham, we used Bellingham as an excuse for 3 years not to buy a midfielder. We went 3 or 4 years without buying midfielders. And our midfield crumbled. Absolutely crumbled. And when you said, we're waiting for Bellingham, we're going for Bellingham. Bellingham came around ready to be purchased. We didn't know that much. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
Yeah. I feel like that happening is partly why Henderson wanted to leave as well,
It wouldn't surprise me if it was part of Klopp
Henderson
leaving
was
as
trying
well.
to push that. Henderson was trying to push it. But yeah.
Klopp, if FSG do back Slot this summer, Klopp must be fucking turning. He must be fuming.
He must be turning now because the points that he's made us win, challenge for the league, are
97 points and then win league.
Big points, and then he's just looking like what? But I'm sure deep down he's happy. But even just going back to transfers, even that year we signed Gakpo, we only signed sort of bargains. We don't sign we don't go out and spend massively anymore.
No, you don't.
Because Gakpo, we didn't even need a winger at the time. Everyone was saying, why are we signing a winger? It didn't make sense.
It was not yeah.
And then we got Chiesa for 14 mil. 1-4.
Your recruitment has been very good.
It is good. And Chiesa is someone I don't think he'll probably be here next season. Do I want him to be here? Yeah, because I feel like he has something and I feel like he can offer something. But I think he does way more than Nunez, which is mental. Because he's played probably a quarter of the games Nunez has played. But yeah, I just feel like we only sort of buy bargains. We only spend big when we really happy. The 3 biggest spends we spent was Nunez, Keita, Alisson, and Van Dijk. 4. Yeah, those are the big spends. No, am I missing anyone?
I think so.
Yeah. Szoboszlai was 60, I think, but that was a release clause. But again, even when we bought Szoboszlai, it was a brilliant summer in terms of who we bought. McAllister, Gravenberch, Ender, Szoboszlai. We did an home midfield, but we only got these midfielders in because the home midfield left. People forget this.
What was
the
it?
The home midfield left that summer. Henderson, Fab left, Coutinho left, Milner left, Thiago left, Thiago left. They all left. So we had no choice but to get a new midfield. We had no choice.
Yeah.
We went 4 or 5 years without getting a midfielder, and that's why it crumbled the way it did. And that's why we ended up in, after winning the league and the Champions League, a few years later, we're in the Europa League.
Yeah,
That's because we didn't back Klopp when we needed to back Klopp when we were at the top.
That's partly why I think Klopp left.
I think it's certainly involved. I think he was tired. I think he was tired of the whole league. I think he was tired of the referees. I think he was tired of the 12:30 kickoffs. But I think FSG, working under FSG, must have added to the strain. It must have done.
Yeah.
And like I said, if they do back Slot this summer, the guy'd be fuming. He'd be fuming.
I won the league in my first season. You have to back me. Whatever I want, you have to give it to me.
I know. I've also that, yeah.
Do you think if Klopp was still at the club, that you lot would achieve what you've achieved this season?
No,
because I think would have been ran into the ground a little bit more because of the way he plays.
I agree.
The high intensity.
I think
it's too high.
I think the players ran into the ground anyway. Would we win the league though? Because Arsenal and City dropped off, didn't they?
Well, we would have dropped off too. We dropped off last year.
Because pundits were saying at the beginning of the season, they thought that if Liverpool sort of finished around 4th or within the Champions League, that would be a good season. So the expectation was lower.
Yeah, because of the new manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it's so surprising.
Having said that question though, that's what you just asked me there. Do I think we'll win the league if Klopp stayed? No, but I think we'll go through the Champions League.
Oh, you think so?
I agree with that.
I think we'll beat PSG under Klopp.
I agree with
because
that.
Because we're a little bit more intense. We're a little bit more intense on the ball. We're better attacking on the ball.
I agree with that. I do agree with that actually.
That's a good shout.
But we don't win the Premier League under Klopp. I think
Not
towards the end of the season, every season, we always fell off because of the intensity that we played at. There was no plan B. If you think about last year, we were literally going to the wire with City and Arsenal. At times, we was even top, and just intensity, we just fell off. And there'll be games where we just fall off and we just lose. But I'm starting to really understand now that it's just the way it was, the style of play, and then for Slot to come in and just tweak one or two things, and to be able to get us to play like how we've played.
But in a defence for Klopp, in terms of the style of play, that sort of high intensity, if you look at his point total throughout every season that he's been at Liverpool, it's been very high, and I'm pretty sure Slot will be less than Klopp for the last few seasons. I'm pretty sure that. I don't know what you're at now. Was it 80 something? Is it 80?
I'll get it up now. We are on 82, 4 games left, so we can officially get 94 to win all 4 games. I don't think we're going to win all 4 games.
You got Chelsea next, and a few.
We got
Chelsea,
Arsenal.
Well.
Do you get what I mean? So
Chelsea,
even though Slot, he was like really intense, he still got the results.
Who, Klopp?
Yeah, he got the results. Even though it was intense, even though maybe it induced injuries the way he played, he still got the results.
Yeah, but also I feel like the injuries played a part. We was always getting injuries. This year we've barely got any. Okay, Trent a few times, Alisson.
But look at, was it last season before, like whatever it was, 90? Was it 97 points? He didn't win the league. I mean, that is phenomenal, man.
We're the best losers. That's what it was.
Like
them times.
So many points and not. I mean, wow, that was
important. That's hard to take as well, losing it by like 1 point.
Yeah,
and we've done that a few years in a row.
Incredible, man. That shows you how.
We were literally at 1 game away from being unbeaten in the league and Champions League double.
Was that when you was in, like, you played every game that you could play? Was it?
Yeah, that season.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. We played every game you could possibly play.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And I'm also thinking of the one there where we won the Champions League that season. We came second on was it 97 or 98 that season?
Yeah. That's the one when we had.
And we lost 1 game. We lost 1 game against Man City, and the John Stones clearance on the line would have been unbeaten in the league. Would have been invincible.
Mental, man.
Yeah.
Imagine being invincible and still not winning the league, though.
It's true.
That's mental.
But we'd officially won the one. So I'll get it back up. I'll get it up for you guys. I've got it here now. 2019. So 2019 when we won the Champions League in 2019. In the league, we finished 97 points, 1 point behind City. 30 wins, 7 draws, 1 loss. The only loss was against City, so we'd have won the league if we drew against them. And that was that John Stones clearance on the line.
Yeah,
that is.
Do you remember when they were like 3 quarters over?
I can't believe that, man. That is
So
unbelievable.
if that went in, we would have won the league, Invincible, and Champions League that season.
Wow.
And it would have been 98 points just by getting a point in that game.
That's mad.
That is mental, though.
So then the season after, obviously won the league on 99 points. That was a counter to the league title. Then we came third on 69 points. Again, it's showing the lack of backing that we got.
That's when we had loads of injuries that year, no?
21. Yeah, but we didn't buy any defenders. We sold Lovren and we relied on 3 centre-backs and 2 injury-prone ones. And then when January came around, we give Klopp Kabak and fucking what was it now? Not Ben Davis. It was.
Oh no, it was Ben Davis. That was his name, Ben Davis.
Yeah, the one that went to Rangers.
The one that was at he went Swansea. Was he signing from that Swansea or something? Or Preston?
Yeah.
We signed him from we signed him somewhere.
Rangers, didn't he?
Well, he never played, did he? He never ever played.
I don't
didn't play.
Yeah, he was an emergency centre back.
That's what they give him. They give him Kabak when we needed a centre back in January. We're top of the league at the time, by the way, and they give him Kabak and Davis because they didn't want to spend.
And I saw he was playing Nat Taylor at the back as well. Them times.
Oh, Nat Phillips and Reece Williams.
There you go. Where are they now?
And we came third. Nat Phillips actually got the winner for Derby yesterday to save him from Championship. So yeah, we came 69 points that season. Alisson Becker last minute winner won it.
Yeah, the West Brom. I told you. Yeah, the West Brom. Yeah, we're speaking about that today.
Right.
Then we came the second of the week the year after 92 points. I think we won the cup double that year, didn't we? And then the season after, we won the cup double the year after that, and then we came second. And then the season after that, we came fifth, Europa League, 67 points.
Yeah, I remember that. That was our lowest finish on the Klopp, innit?
That's why I don't have faith in FSG to do the same again. Because when we're top, they don't build on success. Winning the league is just a bonus to them. They're happy with top 4.
But I think that's because I feel like that's because Klopp. I don't know if did Klopp put enough pressure. Whereas I feel like Slot's done it in his first season. He hasn't had a chance to implement his team, so he's going to want to spend. He's going to want to have ins and outs. Like you can see, he's the 2 positions that have been rotated the most in our squad is the left backs and the striker. Literally, our midfield sort of picks itself between Jones and Szoboszlai and Elliott. Like it's sort of like flip a coin out of those who start. The left backs he chops and changes with them, but then everyone else their position picks themselves.
Yeah.
So he's gonna want to.
I don't think he trusts positions behind. I don't think he trusts the midfield that's on the bench. He don't really trust Endo to start. He certainly don't trust Endo to start. I love Endo, but he doesn't trust him to start. He's not a world class DM.
Endo's there to see out games. Last 5 minutes to bring him on, see out the game.
When he played, was it last season? He played like quite a few consecutive games.
Yeah,
I thought he looked pretty decent.
He's not a bad footballer. He's just not a wild footballer. He's just not a Liverpool. He's just not. Yeah.
So he's back up.
He's come to the Premier League in his latter stage of his career, hasn't he? From the Bundesliga, when you play Bundesliga all your life, pretty much, and he's coming to Premier League at what 32? We got him 31, 32.
No, he's 30. He was 30 when he got 30.
Yeah. That's a big jump in general, but a big jump at that age to come to the Premier League. Yeah. And he's not really that. He's not world class, but he does a job. He's worth the money we paid for him.
He's not gonna. I've not seen him do anything. I'm like, wow, Endo, that was amazing. I don't see it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
But he's there. He's there to shut games out, and he plays his role to perfection.
Looking now, so you got my boys on Thursday anyway, Justin. You got my boys on Thursday. Bodo Glimt.
Oh God.
No, I'm being deadly serious about Bodo Glimt, by the way. If you check my Twitter profile, if anyone goes on my Twitter, if you know my Twitter, go on my Twitter. I've been following Bodo Glimt for about 10 years now. 3 years ago in 2022, I did a tweet about Bodo Glimt saying, watch this space about them. Europa League semi-finalists. It was about Man United. I think someone was talking about Man United, and Liverpool talked about Man United in Europa League. I said, watch out for Bodo Glimt. I said, if Man United get Bodo Glimt in this competition, be careful, because they're a very, very good team. 3 years later, they got Tottenham on Thursday.
Well,
so
I mean, if Ange doesn't win or get through, I mean, he'll be gone then.
He has to be gone.
Regardless of how well they're doing. What are they? Is it Swedish? Or where are they from?
Norwegian, top of Norway, like really high up as well.
And I swear they played like 2 or 3 games because obviously their season's a bit different, isn't it?
It's a stadium I want to go to. I'd love to go to Bodo Glimt.
How many games have they played?
I'm sure they've played literally 3 games or
Bodo
something.
Glimt, I think Norwegian season just started again. Yeah, it must be like
Yeah.
4 games in.
That's
It starts.
mental.
It's Swedish League and Norwegian League start around now because it's summer because it's so cold over there.
Yeah.
Especially Norwegian.
And
they've got to play in the summer.
They've got an artificial pitch, I believe, as well.
Yeah, they're in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, so they have no choice.
So yeah, it's a tough away game.
Yeah,
It's a tough
it'll
away
be tough.
game.
It'll be tough. I mean, I think we have to do the business at home. Probably by about the way we concede goals, we probably have to be 2 or 3-0 up to secure it. But I mean, it's still we have to beat them. We really have to beat them, and then probably it'll be either Man United or is it Bilbao in the final.
Yeah, as long as someone beats Man United, I'm not bothered who wins that Europa League.
Yeah,
just someone beat Man United.
Yeah, United.
In fact, the only thing I can take from it is if Man United do win it, they're going Champions League and they get embarrassed in Champions League next season.
Yeah, I mean, Man United. I mean, we've been terrible, so I shouldn't be saying anything. But Man United are terrible, man. Apart from probably Fernandes, I do like Fernandes.
I really rate Fernandes.
I think they are terrible,
but I hate United as a whole. But I really, really rate Fernandes.
See, if Fernandes had a different attitude, he'd be a good player for. I won't mind a player that caliber at Liverpool in that 10 position, but his just attitude doesn't suit Liverpool at all.
You know what it is? I think he's just frustrated at United.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think he's frustrated.
I think he's just looking around and he's going from playing with Ronaldo, to playing with Xerxes and Højlund, and then he's looking at Garnacho, and then he looks on the other wing and they're playing someone like Ericsson, and he's thinking, mate, what is this? What is actually going on?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, you know what? What's going on with Bruno Fernandes now at United highlights Gerrard even more for me. Because Gerrard played with Mumbai and took him to different levels.
Yeah, that is also true. But also, I do think the game's changed, and I think I sort of think as well. They're different sort of players. Like they're different sort of players. Whereas Bruno was like an out and out 10. Gerrard was like an 8, where he could actually like dominate games and stuff. So, but I do really rate Fernandes highly.
Right, everyone, that is it for tonight. Make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel as per, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone that has subscribed so far. What a season. What a way to end it. I say end it, still no 4 games left. It's ending it for us, technically. What a way to end it today at Anfield, in front of that crowd. First time in my lifetime I've seen that in front of the Anfield crowd, and what an absolute moment it was. I'll get back on there. What a moment it was. Like, this is the first time in my lifetime I've seen that happen in front of that Liverpool crowd, and it was beautiful to see. I'm exhausted for the season. I'm happy just to chill now. 4 games left. We're gonna have a party stream every single week. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel and get your notification bells on as well. Thank you for watching. Kel, thanks for being a pleasure. Justin, been a pleasure, my friend. Problem. Good luck with the Europa League as well. Not too much good luck, so I want Burnley to win.
Yeah, we don't mean that.
I say it flippantly. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, guys. Don't get too pissed, but enjoy the victory. Thank you for watching.